guys, it's Geneviève from the Red Fairy Project, your destination to get daily doses of inspiration to live healthy and happy. So speaking of happiness, what is the one thing that keeps coming up for so many people and I think stops us from reaching our true potential and the true level of happiness that we should be able to experience? It is a fear, but more specifically, fear of what others think of us. And that, I have to say, comes up for me probably on a daily basis. And I think it's something that we all deal with on a daily basis. Some more than others, but it is definitely a fear that can really, really keep us stuck. It can block us from doing something that we feel called to do. And let's agree that it is a fear that is completely irrational, completely unproductive, and it's not based on anything that's actually a real threat. Like back in the day when we were like prehistoric men and women, the fear that we would have would be the fear to get attacked by a lion, or the fear to not be able to light a fire tonight, to survive the night, survive the cold of the night. But the fears that we have now in 2017 in this modern society are often fears that it's our mind that makes them up, and sometimes we can feel as stressed, as in danger, as if there was a lion hiding around the corner, when in fact it's something that there's no real risk, no physical life-threatening risk, and we need to remind ourselves of that. Now, why do we obsess so much about what other people think? I think a big part of that is this need to fit in, this need to be accepted by others, to feel worthy, to feel loved by others. And the problem is when we depend on that, we're basically putting our happiness, our lives really, in the hands of other people. And there might be certain people in our life that we're concerned about what they think. Maybe it could be our parents, it could be a spouse, it could be a close friend. And you could say that, their opinions matter, you can respect their opinions, but you really do have to live your own life. Now, when it comes to other people's opinions, like people at work or people and you don't even know, like let's say if you have an online presence like I do, what other people think, like really in the end, what does it matter? And obviously, let's say if you have an online presence or something like that, I care what other people think because I want to be successful. And that's actually something I posted about this specifically earlier this week on Instagram and on Facebook with my daily inspiration post. And I had somebody say, yeah, but my career and the success of my career depends on what other people think of me. And I thought that was really interesting. So I asked the person, well, what is your career exactly? And so she said that she had kind of like a day job, but that she was also, her side hustle, if you will, was being a painter and a writer. And I asked her, I said, well, why is what other people think important? Like, especially when it comes to creative ventures, I think that's when often we can have that fear really get amplified. When we go into anything creative, it can be really scary, and that's when the mind can really start playing tricks on us and really like freaking us out. But even if you're not on that creative journey, even if you're just like, let's say you're at a 9-to-5 job in an office and you have, let's say, maybe a presentation to do or something like that, that fear, so the fear of speaking in front of other people is basically the fear of what are they going to think? Are they going to like me? Are they going to approve? How am I going to look? But the problem with that, and why I believe it is a real waste of energy, and it's a shame because that energy that you're wasting, it's energy you could be using to doing that thing that you're called to do, to doing something that could take you to that next level of your potential. So the reason for me this is a real issue, and I talk about it on a regular basis, is that you cannot control what other people think of you. Even if you think that you can, even if you spend your life dedicated to being loved by others and getting other people's approval, there's always somebody somewhere that is not going to approve of you. And they might not tell you, but they won't approve of you. And they might be saying something behind your back or whatever. So it is a huge waste of energy. And you might spend a lot of energy trying to get people to like you, to approve of you, but in the end, they're going to decide what they think. Now, this could be, for example, your parents. I think often we're more attached to what the people close to us think of us and think of what we're doing. But I can say from my personal experience that, let's say, what my parents thought of me for a long time was really important. And when I was younger, I would make a lot of really, really important life decisions based on what they would think and based on basically getting their approval. And at one point I realized that the life I was creating for myself was not the kind of life that I actually wanted. It was a life that would probably suit them and make them happy, but it wasn't making me happy. So that was a really, really important realization. And I had to, I don't know how to word this other than saying like cut the cord, cut the umbilical cord, because I was, as I said, quite attached to what they thought, and it was just really affecting. And it's not to say that they drove me to bad decisions, not at all, but they drove me to some decisions, and I'm not blaming them. These were like my choices, but they drove me to certain decisions that it didn't suit me in the end. And as I said, at one point I realized that I had created this whole life for myself, the career, the man, the everything, that I was like, this is not what I actually want. So we have to be really careful about that, because sometimes it can affect us in small, subtle ways to what we'll say in a conversation, or what we won't do because we're like, oh, we're afraid of looking silly or whatever. But it can have really, really big impacts as well, especially if we let that fear of others or what others think contaminate our decisions and our actions on a daily basis. So obviously it's a work in progress. It's something that I don't think you ever get rid of it completely. I mean, kudos if somebody out there has no fear at all of what other people think. I actually just read a book not long ago that actually really, really helped me with that. It's the Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. And for perfectionists like me, oh my gosh, it's such a good book. I really, really recommend it. But yeah, so we have to be careful, because we can create this incredible life for ourselves. When it could be our career, it could be our family, it could be something creative. But if we let that fear of what other people think paralyze us, we can just really stay stuck, stay within like this box that might suit other people, but in the end we will be very unfulfilled. So once again, just reminding yourself that you cannot control what other people think. You might be spending a ton of energy on getting the approval of other people, on being liked by other people, but in the end, they might not even like you. They might still find something to say. And that's not a reflection of you. And that is really, really key to remember that. It is a reflection of them. Whatever they think of you, however they treat you, is a reflection of who they are and not of who you are as a person. So that's really, really, really key to remember that. So when you're doing something that is making you a little bit uneasy, maybe you're realizing that you are obsessing a little bit about what other people think, or more specifically, if you're realizing you are not doing something because of the fear of what other people think, people you know, people you don't know, really, really challenge yourself and really say, is it worth for me staying stuck here, not doing this thing that would probably make me happy, that would probably take me to that next level of my potential, because I'm so concerned about what other people think? And you do have to face the fact that you might, I don't want to say upset some other, maybe you will, you might upset, but you can't have an incredible life while pleasing everybody. It's kind of like you have to choose at some point, and you have to be comfortable enough in your decisions and confident enough in your decisions that what other people think is really none of your business. It's really, they have to own that, and then you own what you think of what you're doing. So keep that in mind this week. Kind of observe yourself, be self-aware of the smaller decisions that you're making, maybe the bigger ones as well, and notice if there's one place in particular where you feel like you might be stuck, and how you can move forward, how you can release that fear. It's by knowing that you cannot control what other people think anyways. So basically what's important is that you do your best, you give it your all, you stay true to yourself, and that's what's going to set you on that, I believe anyways, that incredible journey, is blocking out all the noise and just listening to that inner guidance. And you'll see it makes a whole difference. It's going to be a work in progress. It's a journey. It's something, as I said, that I work on still on a daily basis, but it is so, so worth it because it can take you so much further in life and you start to let go of that fear of what other people think. So I hope this is helpful. If you have any questions or comments about this topic in particular, let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I always like knowing what kind of topics that you guys are more into than others. You can subscribe to YouTube. If you're on YouTube right now, you can sign up to the newsletter. There's a link below. So various ways to stay in the loop and to stay informed when a new video comes out. There is a new video every Sunday, so that way you can start your week on the right foot, feeling inspired and getting all the tools that you need to face those little challenges that we face as human beings on this journey. So thank you for watching. I love you very much, and I'll see you soon. Bye.